What's up, everybody? Joneser here, and we got a bit of a variety show for you today. Mostly Masters of the Universe. We're going to be starting with some action figures. I got some comic books, and we got all kinds of fun stuff planned, so let's do it! What's up, everybody? It's Joneser, your favorite comic book guy.
Let's do this.
All right, welcome back here. Joneser here. We'd like to do the Masters of the Universe content, and that's what we're sticking with here. But the theme of the channel, for the most part, has been Masters of the Universe, but we also like to dabble in some comic books. I always like to say I'm your favorite comic book guy. Kind of cocky, I know, because there's a lot of comic book guys out there a lot better than me. But anyhow, if you haven't already, I'd please ask you to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It costs you nothing, and it really helps us out. So let's move on. Well, first thing I'd like to show is we've got a few comic books of this MASTERVERSE series. So I'm going to hold these up. And, well, if the light isn't making this seeable, that's okay, because due to the handy-dandy editing skills of Joneser, you will see the comic book a lot better now through my pictures and picturenesses. Yeah. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this comic book. That was issue 1 here of this MASTERVERSE comic book. Here's a cover of issue 2. And issue 3. And now what I'd like to add is this story in this is actually pretty good. Not to give any spoilers away in case you all are inclined to go purchase it and read it yourself. I'm still waiting on issue 4, but they did a Masters of the Universe Revelation comic a while back for Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation show, and the comic was a prequel to set up the show. And then that was, quite frankly, I thought it was terrible. This one is a bit different. It's more called Masterverse, and it's based off the Masterverse toy line. And they show, basically the plot of the story is the Sorceress and Zodak are looking at all the different versions of He-Man throughout the multiverse. And I found it very interesting and very funny. And it was neat because it showed all the different ways that He-Man and the Masters of the Universe have been done, and ways that we never imagined, and some are actually quite humorous. So I highly recommend that. Masterverse, you can probably find them at your local comic book store in the back issues maybe, or it is fairly new, but you know how comic shops are. They don't last long sometimes. But anywho, highly recommended. And well, moving on, we've got a Masterverse figure, SPIKOR, from the way back that I never opened. And this guy looks so cool. I can't believe I never opened him. So we're going to open him today. And I figured since SPIKOR was Skeletor's blacksmith or armor making character, I thought this new Eternia Battle Armor He-Man wouldn't be a bad idea to open up along with him. So, yeah. And the comic book that I was mentioning before had that new Eternia vibe to it from Masterverse, where it had all the different versions of He-Man, but these new Eternia ones really seem to be the focus. And it's kind of neat because I think they go back to the concept art and some of the original concepts for Masters of the Universe and put it in a bit of a different spin on it. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to opening up some toys. Okay, here's SPIKOR in package, and I'd have to say he looks pretty awesome. You know, the colors really pop. He's got the extra attachments and whatnot, and this is the Revelation part of the package. The side box art got some menacing and going into battle, looking cool. And of course, the back of the box art is just awesome. You know, we got SPIKOR, and we got a nice little story about SPIKOR, who he is and where he comes from, and some cross-sell. And here we got the Battle Armor He-Man. I was initially going to pass on this figure because he looked kind of silly to me. But, you know, I just decided to get him. And, you know, he looks pretty cool in that picture. You know, I don't like anything different. And we'll compare to some vintage looks. You know, and there's a new concept where it basically says that he's General Adam. You know, so kind of neat. It's a different take on He-Man. Well, okay, here's Spikor out of box, and he is looking snazzy. First impressions, I think he looks awesome. He is got a very neat color to him, very cool look, very nice homage to the vintage figure and how he appeared on Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation. Other first impression, and not in a positive light, it was a real pain in the butt to put that weapon in his hand, more so than I've ever seen off any other Masterverse figure. I mean, I really felt like I was either bending the weapon or bending his fingers to try to get that in there. And yeah, I really didn't enjoy that. But he also comes with two fist hands for punching. As I'm assuming that's what he's going to do. He's not going to fist bump you. And then he's got this alternate hand, much like his vintage, which you know, another look for him to the side. But pop this hand off and you stick this hand, jeepers, on. And then here you have Spikor with a bit of a different look to him. And yeah, I think that works pretty good. Yeah, it works real good. Yeah, but the thing. So there is Spikor in all his Spikor gloriness, and we will compare him here to his ancient little brother. Here's a vintage Spikor, which you can see the looks not quite the same, but you got the right idea. I kind of find it funny that this vintage one's weapon looks much more menacing than the Masterverse version, but maybe a little more practical to swing. And with the vintage one, this thing articulates. You know, will move up and down and whatnot, whereas this one does nothing of the sort. But yeah, I don't have an Origins one to compare him to yet, but he is on pre-order. But there is Spikor, Skeletor's evil blacksmith. Oh, one more thing about Spikor I forgot to add. When you're done playing with him, or I mean displaying him like a grown-up, these Masterverse figures slide right back into the packaging for display or what have you. So you can be an in-box collector or an out-of-box collector all at the same time. So very, very neat feature. A+ Mattel. And now we have moved on to our Battle Armor He-Man, and he is now out of the box, and he is looking snazzy as well. I'd have to say this is a very different look for Battle Armor He-Man. This is of the new Eternia style, so they're going into some concept art and some different ideas. I do like this power sword. I think it looks a little more like a traditional He-Man power sword, which I very much enjoy. It was easy to get into his hand. This battle axe, I'd say same thing. And on the back of him here, he's got this shield, which is a neat little He-Man symbol on it there. And you can put it on his wrist bracer here. And so he can have a shield. I like this little face scar under his eye, and I'd have to say if you're looking for like a Viking Thor-esque looking version of He-Man, he also has this boot knife, which is very neat. You know, back to the original Mark Taylor concepts for He-Man. And let's see if we can figure out how this battle armor piece works here. It looks like you just dig it out. Let's see if we can do that. Not the easiest thing to do. You're gonna have to give me a minute here. Okay, I figured it out. They have little peg holes on the back of this piece. So you take this front piece out. It's got the little peg holes on it. And then you can put his damaged piece in there. So He-Man has been battle damaged. And then you put the front piece back on through the peg holes. And then there you are. We have battle damaged He-Man, which is Neato Torpedo. But is it as Neato Torpedo as a vintage battle armor He-Man? We're losing his sword there. Mine is rough, but I do believe it still works. He-Man, take that. Bam. And that. Oh, bam. So it's got a little rolling drum in there. And when it takes a hit, it moves. Which this one will not do that. And we've also got an Origins version of this same character. And even though his drum is a little smaller, works in the same way. Man, why'd you do that to me, Joneser? You know what, He-Man? You shut your mouth. I've been trying to work with you, and you guys fall down while I'm trying to film, and you don't... You know what? Take that. I'd also like to add, if you don't like the new Eternia look to Battle Armor He-Man, you could always swap out his head with either an Origins head or an alternate Masterverse style head, and you could take that little shoulder piece off and the little skirt that he's got and make him look like a little more of a traditional Battle Armor He-Man. So that's always an option. Well, all right, that is what we got for you today here on the Motu Joneser Show. You never know what Joneser's going to have for you. Old toys, new toys, comic books, vintage stuff. You know, I'm just constantly surprising myself. And if you just can't get enough of my pretty smiling face, you can always check me out over on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. I'm often a co-host on his lives. And I also will be appearing tonight on Sir Clifton's broadcast as well. And check out all these other great channels I have recommended under my about or recommended channels or what have you. You know what I'm talking about. You know what? Never mind. Just go away.